Hello, hello, and welcome. And hi, I'm Nick, and this is another Champed Up pack opening video. Uh, so since the last one of these that I did, I did in fact get to play. Uh, so again, as a reminder, last time we opened up a pack that was from a game, one that was played on Pat Bear stream. You can see these have all been sort of shuffled and turned all around because we played an actual game. Um, and I do want to say that I actually had a pretty good time with it as a game. To sort of sum it up, well, okay, first of all, one thing which I was actually surprised that I ended up having to do myself, just to make playing easier, is I went ahead and I made my own reference cards for just sort of reminders of what to do and how to play. I was able to fit. This is pretty much all the rules you need to know how to play. I was able to fit it onto 4 card faces. I have 2 sets here because one for each player. Because mainly the number one, as you can see, my printing was a little off, but aside from that, uh, the main thing I think here is this list of turn actions. Because you get 5, and the thing that in the rules that they have it in like a bullet list like this, but they kind of like describe it too vaguely when really each one of these things here like is like, yeah, you can do it as much as you want, but there are like resources needed to do it. Like everything is either by energy, of which you get 3 per turn, or like you need a fighter who is active and able to do the thing you want to do. Um, so it isn't this like big do whatever you want thing. It is sort of like, hey, here are like 5 things you can do if you have the resources. And it's funny because a lot of people when they think about like a fighting card game like this, one of the things you talk about is tempo, and you talk about, hey, you start with easy cards and then you ramp up to heavier cards by the end. But this one, you have like 3 points every turn, and there are card abilities that will maybe refund or let you do things without paying their cost, or there are like combos that can make things happen. um but it, it almost feels a little bit more like weirdly a little bit like a XCOM or a tactics game, because anything where if you're playing like a tactics game, sometimes you'll be like, all right, this character has 2 action points to use on this activation, and it's like, okay, well, I'll have but there's 8 options to do, so it's like, all right, I'll have them do this and I'll have them cast this, or they'll go here and they'll cast a spell and then they'll move, or they'll shoot a gun, they'll throw this guy, whatever. um so it almost feels kind of like that. um and you only ever have 3 champs up per side, and you start your turn, well, you end your turn by discarding down to 3, so all of the numbers are really small. And it's really streamlined. Basically each player has like 3 like hit points, essentially, which are more fighters. Like, this game is really, it is a small game, but it is sort of small in the way that a watch is small, is that it is small scale. There are not a lot of parts, but all of those parts actually have pretty sort of like clever and maybe not intuitive, but pretty straightforward interactions with each other. So it's a question of like, okay, so I'm going to pay the energy to play the guy. His ability makes this other thing happen, which lets me do this with this guy. And then, you know, then he has a thing I'm going to pay to do that to let me do this, which actually gives me energy. And so it almost becomes this thing of like, it's like you get a lot of sort of like, okay, order of operations, who do I get, what can I do, like I have this very small pool of resources at the start of my turn. How can I um like it is a lot about like making, again, so 3 energy and 3 cards in hand and 5 actions. But there's actually a pretty good sense of like, okay, let me read over everything that's here and let me see if I can figure out how to make a really like a move that gets me, on a step ahead and put my opponent on the back foot a little bit. Um, And with only like 3 points to win, like uh it makes for a really close game where you do like think hard about what you're going to do on a turn. There was rarely ever a time when it was like, well, I'm going to do the single thing that is available for me to do, but it is like that rarely ever happened. So it was often like, okay, I have a bunch of things I could do. Which are worth doing? Are is one going to give me a leg up over the other? Um, and I actually look forward to playing more of it. But more importantly, I'm looking forward to adding more cards and therefore more possibility space into the game. Um, because as we covered last time, each pack comes with the 15 champs and 3 trainers, and the champs are, I don't know, the images of course come from the game, and I'm thinking that the sort of abilities and stats come from what they were the champion of, which is something that is hard coded into the game. So I'm assuming there are as many different like cards as there are like categories and prompts in the game itself. I don't know that for sure. I'm making assumptions here. But the thing that I actually like is if you get one pack, you have everything you need to play a 2-player game. I don't know if there's like a more than 2-player version. I don't believe so. Um, but they say you can mix and match to make a like sort of custom set of 15, or you can just stack everything in. And the next game we play might I'm probably going to try playing it just with 30 champs and the 6 trainers to pick from, and we'll see how that goes. Uh, just bring a more possibility space, more pieces into the game. It is interesting to wind it down though to sort of like if there are certain combinations that are interesting together, you want to get rid of the chaff so that you get those interactions more often. But we'll see about that. But for now, I'm putting the old ones aside. Our energy can go aside. And we have a brand new pack. Uh, if I'm remembering correctly, I ran a Jackbox stream a couple weeks ago, I believe. Partly for fun, partly specifically to play this game to have a pack of stuff to pull from. And we've played that. And see, here's the interesting thing. I was pretty sure that when we played, we did not actually generate 15 champions. So I want to know what happens. There is a sort of developer seeded pack with developer made champions. I guess drawings really, but uh, so there is like they have like an in-house set. And so I don't know if the game is too small if they draw from that, or I wonder if I should just buy that pack anyway. I am a sucker for trading card games. Uh, or if maybe there are things. Uh, maybe I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm going to see if I don't recognize any of these. We'll be able to tell from the what do you call it? We'll be able to tell from the artist names because I know there were 4 people in that game. I know who they all were, and so and you create 2 per round, and there's 2 rounds, so you create 4 in a game, and with 4 players, 4 by 4 is 16. Oh no, so the math does work out. Um, if you did a 3-player game, I bet that would not go super right. That corner came off in like the least helpful way. Let's try this again. All right, we're getting scissors. Maybe I should have done that in the first place. Alrighty. Which side looks like a... Okay. This side is down. I am so excited. But that also... Oh, right. Last time the champions were mixed in here. So let's just go ahead and see what we get. And one of the important things that I'm trying to read out from these, we have the name, what they're the champion of, and who made them. Champ number 1, Bootyful, the champion of timeless beauty. They're kind of a blob. They're kind of a blob. That's good. And that's by Maddie. Uh Minecraft YouTube, the champion of hypnosis. Also designed by Maddie. Excellent. Oh, Katzin, the champion of being out of touch.
Heck yeah.
By Joe, my producer, saying heck yeah from off screen. That is a very good one. I love a blue cat. Uh, we have Sneck, who is oddly enough not the champion of hide and seek, even though in the box and everything. That's impressive to lose when you're already in the box. Also by Joe. So that's interesting that like right away we have somebody who's not a champion. So again, if we have 16 champs in this pack from a 4-player game, about like I assume and okay, and then 15 cards. So I'm gonna say there's probably gonna be 8 winners and 7 losers, because that's how you get to that number, I think. Because oh no, because there are some in the actual Champed Up, you can have certain characters who win more than one title. Does that make sense? Trying to think about it. This math is hard. All right, who's next? uh, we have Gotcha Reddit, who has no title. Who I want to say this one was a loser. This was one that I did. This was, of course, matched up against Minecraft YouTube. I remember not knowing what this was gonna fight, or just knowing that it was fighting Minecraft YouTube. So I was like, okay, Gotcha Reddit. I don't believe it won. Yeah, no, if the other one won, then I guess this one didn't win. So, and it doesn't even say not. That's kind of interesting. Okay. Okay. So we have a new wow. We have a new trainer. I want to dig out. So last time we had Trina, Sloan, and Corey as an apple Corey. You know how it goes. And I'm really hoping I don't get dupes on the trainers. Let's find out. Bryce! Hype 2 friendly champs. Ooh, that's good. Alright, we got Bryce. Alright, more champs. It's Spider Bear, the champion of cuddling. Unfortunately. And that one is by Holly. Good, so now we've seen cards from all 4 players. Excellent. Hey! It's Dave, the champion of business casual. By Joe. What's that noise? The champion of hide and seek. So the one who beat Snake is the awareness. That's by Holly. Love it. Love to see it. I thought this was good. It's the Neat Lifer, not the champion of self-care. That's one of mine. I thought, I liked the Cheeto dust on the stomach. I thought that was a solid detail. All right, next coach. Rue. Ooh. Swap a friendly champ with an opposing champ. Oh, so you can force like a heel turn. Oh, that's interesting. Ooh, I like that. Ooh, yeah, no, that could be nasty. Ooh, yeah, okay. It's Jerry, not the champion of business casual. That one's by Holly. I still like how he has sort of a Twinkie yodel on his head. Okay. Next up is a single Cheeto with a knife.
Yeah.
And who is the champion of self-care. I don't know how this happened, but Joe took it, and what can I say? Joe is fantastic at pretty much everything. Even winning fake wrestling matches. Okay. Next we have a gun for getting rid of weeds. Specifically, that is what this gun is for. That one's by Maddie. I'm gonna say I'm glad that the title is not on there, because I'm pretty sure I remember what that was, and considering this was made knowing the enemy and not the category, thank you. This ended up being unintentionally in bad taste. All right, we're getting close to the end. What do we got? Yes, we have Cerberus, who is not the champion of being out of touch. I was trying to go for the 3 Wolf Moon shirt if it was one dog. And I still really like it. This one's my favorite. I don't care that he lost. Cerberus is a good boy. There's 3 good boys? What's he do? Pick any champ, return it to their owner's hand. Okay. So I'm definitely, I'm not reading them off as we go here, but I'm definitely looking, and a lot of oh my gosh, a lot of these abilities I'm seeing are ones that I've seen before, and sometimes with different triggers, which I think is a little interesting. Like, so I'm guessing that these are like almost like fully randomized cost, power, trigger, and ability. So that could be interesting, but that also makes me think that there's absolutely a way to just be like, yeah, no, here are the optimal like loadouts that a card could have, and you could just get the best card in the world theoretically. But then at least because when you play, both players are drawing from the same deck, there's an equal chance that somebody's going to get it. But maybe then in that case, whoever gets it then just gets like a free win on that match. So that may not be great. It's the last. Oh, and the last one's the last coach. All right, 2 champs left. We have. It is a potted plant of some renown, who is not the champion of the Ivy League. Potted plant of some renown. I like that. I do like that. That one is by Holly. And all right, last champ. Who do we got? Oh, it's a lab-grown cutie who is not the champion of Timeless Beauty. I thought they had a good shot, honestly, but they lost to Beautiful, and sometimes you just have to show respect to the winner. That's sportsmanship right there. Look through the discard, pick a card, and then draw it. Okay, that's not bad. So a little bit of graveyard searching. All right, and last coach, big money, no whammies. Please don't be a dupe. Raff. Draw 2 cards, then recruit 1 and discard the other. All right, just free fighters. Cool. So that's great. So now we have a whole new set of 15 fighters and 3 new coaches. And honestly, this is fantastic. Look at all of these cards, and after having played one game, I'm excited to play another. I'm excited to see what happens when we just sort of put more pieces in to see if that actually does make it more chaotic or more interesting or anything like that. This is fantastic. Now that I've played it, I actually do recommend this game. And the best way that I can put it is this game scratches a similar itch in my brain that usually makes me go towards Magic the Gathering, because it is about like, okay, I have these pieces, I have these resources, how can I, do something right here to get a step ahead, and see if maybe I can set something up to push it further. But 3 cards, 3 energy per turn, 15 total, 3 hit points. It's so streamlined that you don't get the headache that comes with playing a full game of Magic the Gathering. You don't have to figure out get through 20 life. You don't have to figure out life gain. You don't get, and also you don't get like, from what I can see, it's hard to get like screwed over any more or less than your opponent. So there's a lot about this that seems like most of the time it's pretty random, but at least you and your opponent are pretty like even odds of who gets sort of screwed over by randomness, I guess. And even then, it never, just from what the abilities are and like how powerful they are, it never really again, I played like one game, but it didn't feel like the randomness was pushing you that far ahead or behind. Like there was always something you could do to like there was always something to do that felt like it could get something done. Maybe not as much as you want, maybe not enough to win, but it felt like there were not a lot of like useless gestures, which I've played a lot of games of Magic where it's just like, no, it's like, well, I could be dead 12 turns from now, or I have lost now. It will take 12 turns to end. How about we just? And um, this game made me hang in there till the very end. So I actually totally recommend this if you. The nice part with with this set, they sort of like it rolls backwards. So if you go to jackbox.tv and you can look at like your game history to see the results of the previous games you've played. If you have a good game of Champed Up in there that you remember playing, you can actually go and buy a pack from that specific game. Or like I said, they have like a in-house developer made pack that you can go get if you just want to try it out and see what it's about. And I think it's fun. This is enjoyable. This is like I don't want to say it's lightweight because it is very like analysis intensive, but it's short and it's like a decent way to kill time, and it's something like this is like a pretty, it's like a mid-tier warm-up game because you have to think hard, but it's not going to take long. So like if you're having a game night and you are ready to get into a game, but you're still waiting on people to show up before you get to like the main game of the night, this is totally something I would have. And just like you can play it, you can bullshit over it, you can do, color faux color commentary, and you can have some if you have some pretty good memories, because a lot of these I still laugh at these when they come up. I really like Minecraft Stefan. I really like Just the Black Maid from Final Fantasy.
Cheeto with a knife.
Cheeto with a Knife, who I did completely forget about and got me a minute ago. Um, yeah, I recommend it. I think it's fun. I like getting cards. If I get any more of these, I guess I'll be back. Until then, take care of one another. See you later, folks.